Thanks a lot for coming. We're very happy to work with Chocolate City. My name is Oppo Aki. We run the company called Content, the brand called CocoBar.com. Basically, this show is brought to you by us and our sponsors, Ultimate from K2 Enterprises. Basically, we've got MI, Mr. Incredible. We've got Jagz. We've got Iceprince and we've got Primal. And we've also got the directors of Chocolate City here as well. Thanks a lot again for coming, and I'll just pass it on to yourselves. You can ask as many questions as you want. And it's your call now. Thank you.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Hi. On behalf of the Nigerian DJs UK, I'd like to formally welcome you all to London. Your album, MI2, is this the show itself? Is it an official album launch, or is it like a show of the Chop Boys? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, with the way the industry is in Nigeria, a lot of times we sort of have our music, introduced to other parts of the world by mistake, as an accident. The music leaks out to Nigerians or through DJs. Nigerian DJs have been, worldwide, have just been an incredible part of what the Nigerian music industry is doing, and so shout out to you guys. But we're killing as many birds as we can with one stone, the very powerful CocoBar stone, because we want to introduce the album properly, because I feel like it's such an important piece of work that, for me, it's an important piece of work. And but also we want, people to get to see the Chop Boys, the songs like Ule Cool, A Big Waiting Day, and introduce Brian Moore to the London audience who's not been here before. And so we're going to do it's going to be a primary focus on MI2, but there's going to be everything that, and anybody that's a fan of the Chop Boys, if you don't like MI, you can still come out and have a good time, watching Iceprince and Jagz and that.
So are we expecting a Chop Boys album anytime soon, or is there a Chop Boys album in the making?
Okay, I'll try not to answer all the questions, but I'll answer this one too. It's difficult because we came out as independent artists, but recently people have been booking us as a group, and we appreciate that because we get to hang out again together. We live in different places in Nigeria now, so it's harder for us to be, with our schedules and everything. So we're talking about it. There's a mixtape Jesse was doing, and I had some music left over from MI2, and we're trying to see if we can, put together a mixtape or something that for the summer. So we'll look into it. It's difficult because everybody's so busy, and man, it's not as easy as it,
Okay.
I have a question for Jesse. I just want to know, how did you come up with the beat for Oleku in 30 minutes?
Truth is, none of us knew it was going to be that big. So I guess when Iceprince even asked me, I just did it out of not trying to offend him. So I think it shouldn't even be less than 30 minutes because we made 2 beats. There's a party version we did and the original version we did. So I don't know, it just sort of worked.
A bit of trivia about Oleku. Iceprince played it for everybody, and everybody said, we don't think that's a single. I was probably more vehement about it than anybody else. But then at a certain point, he just put his foot down and was like, this is the song, I want to put this song out. And so they went back and remixed it and did 1 or 2 things. And we have all been apologizing to him since.
Me again, if no one has a question. Lyrics for Nobody. I think they're fantastic lyrics because they're actually on point.
Yeah.
What have people been saying about you that inspired you to write that song?
The funny thing about it, I have a little bit of footage that's, you need to come out to the show because the show is going to be such a collage of, images and videos and performances. It's something, we're trying to do something that's never been done. For that song, I have a little bit of footage, I think, from Timaya he's talking about. I'm not like one of those controversial musicians like, Banky Baby or Timaya, which is why I refer to some of those guys. But even the littlest things, sometimes you're just scrolling through Twitter and you see someone that just goes, what does this MI feel like, sir? You know, and the funny thing about an artist is that we have, the way we're configured, our esteem, you see those things and it just spoils your whole day. You know, but I mean, what do people keep, I've been, you know, saying, you know, when I was coming up, they were like, you know, the music you do is never going to make it. And then when they did, they're like, well, you're not really hip-hop anyway, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you can never be good enough for everyone. You know, although a lot of people, I do have a lot of love for a lot of people, but it's never enough for some people.
Has anyone got another question? Right, I've got another one. I've spoken to quite a few number of artists in my time, and every time they come to the UK, especially London, they tend to say, oh, the London crowd can be quite challenging in terms of pleasing, because you do have to put in your money's worth in the UK. Now, in your album, your show, what can your fans in the UK, particularly London, what can they expect from this particular show?
Yeah, and the difference, I think in recent times, Nigerian music has been very club-driven. You know, it's songs that you already know when you arrive at the venue. I don't have a lot of songs that play in the clubs, and that's just by virtue of the kind of person I am. I'm more of a, you know, I like to have a conversation with you when you're listening to the album. I set out that every song you listen to, you feel like I'm having a personal conversation to you. I'm talking to you in your car when you listen to it. So there's that element that I think that whether or not you're on your feet or you're sitting down listening, I want you to walk away saying that was a good show, you know. However, we've been performing for quite a while now, you know. We're gonna play instruments live. If I need to dance, if I need to strip, whatever I need to do to make London people have a good time, you know, we're gonna do. And I think it's gonna be a fantastic show. We had a production meeting today, and these guys are so passionate. They're so passionate about what they do. His whole team, everybody, they're really fantastic. I think it's going to be a great show. And also shout out to the fact that, like, Nigerians are doing shows at, you know, venues like the Indigo for Nigerians. Like, it's such a powerful, poignant statement, I think, like, right now for Nigerian entertainment. We're gradually taking over, you know.
Thank you.
I have a question. I wanted to know, what is the difference between Talk About It and this album that you have now? What is the difference? Because you have great lyrical skills. What are the changes you made? What can we expect from this? I mean, I've heard some of it, and I really like it. But I mean, what's the difference between that one and this one?
When the question I guess I was answering, Talk About It, was just like, can you be yourself and make it in Nigerian music? I remember as soon as I got signed, one of my directors, Paul, is right behind you there. And as soon as I got signed, they were like, oh, you need to write this sort of chorus or to break. And I was like, you know, I just want to be myself. Then I got to a certain point and I achieved, you know, quite a bit. You know, I mean, we've done fantastically well, a lot of awards, a lot of shows, we've headlined. Basically, I mean, with this show, this is, as far as Nigerian artists go, I think this is, you know, we're right up there with everybody else in terms of performances and, you know, whatnot. And then with MI2, the question I started asking myself was how, because there's a big population of Nigerians that don't relate to hip-hop, period. You know, to them it's just, you know, angry young black people screaming at you, you know. So was how do you now infuse same topics, the same MI, you know, the same thought process, but how do I put it on a beat that will make your mom or your dad or somebody that wouldn't have listened to rap music, you know, wouldn't have known who MI was? How could I get them to listen to the music? How can we take hip-hop music and make it and try and broaden the market? And the funny thing about it is that I feel like hip-hop has such soul and such pain in it that it's important for everyone to have, you know, especially like a country like Nigeria. So I felt it was important to do that. You know, it's not just, if you listen to my music, you know that there's always like something, there's always even when I'm talking about the girls or whatever, there's always like, you know, about to use a condom or something like in there. But, and I think we achieved it. When we came out, for a while there, a lot of people were like, this is not hip-hop. You know, it doesn't sound like Jay-Z, but I think, you know, people listen to it and listen to High Life and, you know, Afrobeat and stuff that's been done the way that's never been done before. You know, I think is, so you should listen to the album. I'll give you one.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to ask about Infectious News. There's some lines in there. I wanted, would they self-explanatory? Is it about you or?
What line is that? What?
Like you don't believe easily.
Oh no, definitely all about me.
All about you, everything.
Yes. This is what I say. Like when I was writing the song, there's a part of a movie called High Fidelity, and the guy was, I think it's John Cusack, was talking about how he was explaining something he'd done to his girlfriend in the movie, and then he was like, "Don't judge me. You write down the worst thing you've ever done to someone you love, and don't explain it. Just write down like a sentence." And so I asked everybody, like I had to chase people around. I didn't ask them, say one thing about MI. I said, say one thing about MI that you don't like. And a lot of people will be like, you know, you don't pick the phone. I'm like, no, think about it and really say something about me you don't like, because it was revealing to me too, you know, for people to be like, oh, you're an asshole, you're wicked, or sorry, can I say that in press conference? You're wicked, but when you look at that and then realize, which the point of the song was like, you know, if you're a religious or spiritual person and you believe in God, that God loves you the way you are. But even if you're not, like just your family members, your dad and your mom and your brothers and sisters, like some people that know some real dirty stuff about you, they still love you. Like it just allows you to still be you. Like, and that's the point of the song. I think a lot of people just were shocked, like, wow, am I saying nice before this? But please remember that I asked them to specifically say things about me they didn't like.